PA Chase. What is PA Chase? What have you guys been up to? And what? Because everybody telling me you're the rock star of this Get Out the Vote effort in Pennsylvania. And tell us what's happening today, what you see so far in the first couple hours.
Yeah, Steve, appreciate you having me. So PA Chase, we've been in the field for about 2.5 months. We've got 120 full-time ballot chasers. And our objective from day one has been to knock 500,000 doors. I'm happy to report on your show, Steve, that as of 9:45 a.m. Eastern time, we did knock our 500,000th door. So we're going to keep grinding until 8 p.m., but we mapped it out pretty well. What we're seeing on the ground is pretty wild. I mean, there are two things we care about. One, Republicans competing when it comes to mail-in voting. And then two, trying to figure out, how the Democrats are going to game the system and how they're not. And I have to totally agree with what Jack Posobiec said. I mean, Philadelphia right now, they're just not seeing the turnout, both in their mail-in returns and today when it comes to Election Day. And Steve, let me just give you these numbers. I think it's important for everybody to understand this. Joe Biden beat Donald Trump by 1.4 million mail-in votes. Okay, we're just talking mail-in votes. Let me go over the numbers right now of where we are with returns, okay? Democrats have returned 1 million ballots, and we have returned roughly 600,000. So think about that math. We're down 400,000 when 4 years ago, we were down 1.4 million. So the Democrat argument is, there was COVID. So that's the excuse. Look, they need to set record turnout to be able to compete with us. And their whole infrastructure, their whole system is built on them voting early and running up the score. They fail. And so the only way we lose today, and I mean this wholeheartedly, is if our people don't show up.
Hang on one second and tell me Denver when it's ready. I hear you. But I talked to a lot of Democrat, operatives and media people, and they're a little bit arrogant today. In fact, Jonathan Martin was on Morning Joe with this. He's never seen a ground game like the Democrats have had. They got this amazing ground. Let's play this clip, and I want you to comment. And I'm going to bring Poso in. Let's go ahead. Let's play it.
What's your sense of things as we sit here now, finally, on Election Day?
Well, I think most Democrats believe that their best path is still to get 270 via the blue wall, the 3 Great Lakes states plus the Omaha congressional district. But I will say in the last couple of days, you do hear some chatter about the possibility that Georgia may come online for Democrats, and it may have to because Wisconsin is looking nip and tuck for Democrats. Keep in mind how close the Wisconsin margins were 4 years ago. Steve just laid that out. Look, there's certainly hope, as there is every 4 years among Democrats, that Dane County, Madison can get a little bigger and offset the party's rural decline in the rest of Wisconsin. And maybe that's the case once again tonight. But there are concerns among Democrats that Wisconsin is going to be a challenge, and at least will take a day to count all the votes there. But with hope that Georgia can come through with a strong Election Day performance, especially among African-American voters in the metro Atlanta area. On the Republican side, still a belief that Trump will carry Pennsylvania and that effectively Trump will block her path early in the evening by carrying Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, which won't leave her anywhere else to go. But I can tell you from being in Pennsylvania all last weekend, Harrisburg State College, Allentown, Philadelphia, and Scranton, the Democratic ground game there is extraordinary. And the presence of basically every liberal activist from across the Northeast knocking on doors in Pennsylvania over the weekend, I think threatens to overwhelm the Republican ground game in that state. The sheer presence of ground soldiers in Pennsylvania on the Democratic side is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Okay, Jonathan Martin's a smart guy. Of course he's got, but the buried lead there, Posobiec, when I get you back in, he said the numbers, Democrats he talked to, the number's 270. That means they've North Carolina, according to them, North Carolina and Georgia are gone, Arizona and Nevada, and that means they got to hold the whole blue wall. And he just countered himself because it looks like Wisconsin's weak. Because for her to get to 270, it's got to be Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Nebraska too. So, Cliff, Jonathan Martin's up in your grill. He's saying he's never seen a ground game like this. It's going to overwhelm Cliff Maloney. Your response, sir?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a difference between effort and results, right? I'll give them credit, Steve. They've got twice as many people as 2020. They're spending twice as much money, and they're getting half the result. And so I always like to say, look, I'm glad that we've knocked 500,000 doors, but let's talk about results. And the one thing I'll say publicly on your show, Steve, that a lot of political consultants will make fun of me for being public about this. We average about 20% of mail-in votes when you look at the statewide candidates, Republican versus Democrat. And from the get-go, when I launched this Pennsylvania Chase program, I've said, if Donald Trump can get 33% of all the mail-ins compared to the Democrat opponent, who is now Harris, I think he wins this election, and I think he wins it strongly. And so when these results hit tonight, the Democrats can keep yapping and they can keep being confident and act cocky. I'm going to look at the numbers. And if Donald Trump is at 33% or even close to it, I think we're in a great position for victory because we've cut into their domination of these mail-in votes.
Cliff, where do people get you? We're going to get you back on. Where can people get you, the website, social media, all of it, to follow you today?
Sure. I'm on X at Maloney, Maloney, and then pachase.com. That's pachase.com. We'd love to win Pennsylvania. We do that. We think we win the White House. Steve, you're a patriot. Appreciate everything you've been through and everything you do for our cause.
Thank you, brother. Also, a magnificent piece up in Breitbart. Well, Grace and the team, let's push that out on social media. Thank you.